This is Frankie Abrazzino with the Uncensored Report, and this one is, I'm going to share it on all my pages because it's concerning and it's regarding Snopes. And, it drives me crazy the ignorance of a lot of people. When you're out there and you put something out and they'll put Snopes with a link. That's it, Snopes linked. And therefore, they're the omniscient ones and it's proven wrong. And a couple times I've gone out there and proven that they were wrong on Snopes. But you never hear about stuff like that. And I'm not the only alternative or new media person that does this type of stuff. So I think it's ironic now that a lot of interesting stuff has come out from the Daily Mail. This isn't one of those fake news sites. They're the old legacy media, and it's interesting what they found in these court findings. And I'll pull it up on the website so that you guys can see the information along with me. So here we go, and it talks a little bit about Snopes and how they're, I have already said they're arbitrary fake news, but how they're defrauding the site and trying to get money. And they went through this divorce and they've been fighting over who gets the money, how much David should get paid. And you may be thinking, well, what's the big deal? So what? They're embezzling their companies. Their companies. So what? He's paying for prostitution. What's the big deal? I think it goes beyond that, and it shows that Snopes is driven by money and greed. And if you read these articles, I'll try to remember to put a link on there when I post it. That's basically what's driving this guy. Also, where they're at mentally. This guy David ended up marrying this lady that was an ex-porn person, an ex-escort, and now she's one of the lead fact checkers out there. And they came out and found out basically you don't need any experience in your fact checking. And it's like I've always said, all they do is go out and Google. And that's what David, the CEO and owner that started up Snopes with his wife, the cat lady, ultra liberal. It is strange that all the fact checkers are all like ultra liberals, Politico, ABC, Snopes, and these people are going to go out and you're going to see because it's in this article. It's documented. It's court records and everything where he basically says there is no real way to do it. We go to Google, and it's that person that's checking that fact checker who decides if it's right or not. And is that really a system we want for cutting out our freedom of speech? And this is all on there, a bunch of the court records. I'm not going to cover most of that stuff because who really, I don't really care that he's embezzling. That's their problem. That's their company. I've always known they were a farce. But I'm concerned that now with this Facebook deal, will their financial greed, their financial desire, like they're right in this article, they talk about how David's fighting over the salary. He wants more money. He married this Erin O'Brien. This is one of the girls that's a fact checker. She's a bit of a liberal. She ran as a libertarian, but she's pretty much an extreme liberal. And she was running against the Republican there. And they go on to say some stuff, and I highlighted some stuff about Kim. Here's one, Kim La Capria. And this is the company's lead fact checker. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make it larger. And she basically went out and wrote on her personal blog that she played Scrabble, I mean, smoked pot, and posted on Snopes where they do their fact checking. And sure, a lot of people say, so what? So she had a little bit of a joint. Was she in the right state of mind? What else was she doing there and all that stuff? And here's David. David's the owner. And he couldn't discuss too much because they're going through all this the suit stuff. But he told the Daily Mail, there's no standardized procedure in place for Snopes fact checking. They said because the information, the material is varies so much, you can't do it that way. He did say there's multiple oversight with editorials, but some of the editorials is his wife, who's a real far left-leaning person. And here he said another thing. He said basically is he added, there's no set requirement for Snopes fact checkers given the broadness of the job would be difficult to encompass any single blanket set for standards. So there is no standards. It's your own discretion. You can go out there, you can go, somebody can read something that they don't agree with, but there is no standard, and they can go on and say, nope, false. And they know that the power Snopes has with some of the mindless sheep out there that come out and say, oh, that's wrong, Snopes, here's a link. and God, it amazes me some of the ignorance out there with some of the people. So, you got Facebook. They went out and they appointed these guys, the purveyors of the fake news. Who's going to be it? Which stories are fake, which stories aren't fake, and a lot of it is geared towards squashing alternative media, which tends to be right-leaning. There is some left-leaning alternative sites like, God, was Mother Jones. Huffington is almost mainstream anymore, but and the other concern is it the money, the motivator? And I missed one part on here. Let me see where it is, where the person came in and basically said that they just Google. Oh man, I didn't check it off on here on the highline, but she came in basically and says that all we really do is Google the information, and then one individual determines, that individual that's checking it determines if it's accurate or not. And it may have been in another article that I was reading it in, because there's several out there. So the bottom line here is, folks, the bottom line here is the next time you go out there and you're looking at information, before you come on and say Snopes, which is a little irresponsible, check the information. And I think a lot of trolls will go out there because they know once they put Snopes and some link, they know people will buy into it and think, oh man, this is inaccurate information. When lo and behold, it is accurate information. You know, they'll see Snopes and, you know, right, get some thinking, then they'll say, wait, it's not on major media. You know how many stories I come across that are accurate that are not on major media? Because they don't want, I don't know if it's they don't want you to hear about it. I don't know if it doesn't fit within their 6 corporations that own 90% of the media out there. If it doesn't meet in their criteria of what they want pushed out, if it doesn't meet the government's propaganda that they want to push out. And what I said many times is major media has become weaponized, and they're trying to control what you hear, what you see, what you believe, and all that stuff. So, and next time you see someone write Snopes, maybe refer them to this video. Refer them to many of the articles that are out there right now. Tell them to wake up. Go out and check the facts for themselves. Don't let Snopes be the ultimate fact checker for you. Don't let me. If I post a story, you're crazy if you go out and just say that is it. My leanings might be a little bit more to the right. There might be a left-leaning story out there. There may be more news out there. You got to do like I do and go to multiple sources. I go to left, right, middle of the road, and I check everything. A lot of stuff I post I don't agree with, but I post it just so that everybody can have all the information and make an intelligent decision out there for themselves. This has been Frankie Abruzzino with the Uncensored Report.